morning, everybody. It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Thursday. We made it, 13th day of February 2025. My name is Nick. There's Big J right over there.
Yeah.
Big J, happy day before Valentine's Day to you.
Thanks, man.
Hopefully you are staying warm today as it's yet another cold one. We're going to get into the weather here and important stuff just in a bit because you might want to buckle down, friends.
I thought it was going to be way colder. Like I was getting misinformation on my phone.
What do you mean?
It said it was going to be negative in the negative this morning at the time I left last night. I was like, that seems weird.
Yeah, it's
And
like 12 degrees.
Yeah. Which would have sucked.
Were you getting that from like your weather app or a weather app? Or
Here's an interesting
was
thing,
Scott
Nick.
Dorval
I made a terrible decision. I don't know what happened, but I don't know if this has ever happened to you. Like, I was doing something on my phone and something popped up and I clicked on it and it completely changed my phone.
Oh, dude.
And so, like, I've got like weird widgets. It rearranged all of my icons. I have no idea.
You probably downloaded some spam on accident or some sort of weird virus.
And so it's a weird weather app that's taken over my phone. And
no, that's never happened to me. But
so that's because you're not an idiot. So that makes sense.
No, I mean I think it could happen to anyone, but I do know that you are, you have a lot of notifications and things popping up on your phone. It happens from time to time, and sometimes you click on the wrong one. But the good news is, Big J, soon you'll be starting fresh. From absolute zero.
That's what I'm keeping this though.
For what?
I don't want to completely let go of my Android things. So
you're going to still keep it active and on?
No. Not on LTE, but it's just Wi-Fi. Because I've got a lot of work stuff on here, so I can do a lot of. I don't know about the Apple stuff.
Okay.
So
you should be able to transition everything.
That was one of my caveats. I'm like, I'm going to keep this though.
Okay. So you're not trading that phone in for some sort of weird discount?
No.
Okay.
It's paid off. So.
All right. Well, listen. Sometimes that's how you pay less than $2,000-$3,000 for an Apple phone. But hey, I know.
Listen, all that matters is the wife is taken care of, and she's getting her new iPhone.
All right. What if you fall in love with your Apple product, Big J? Then what?
I can't imagine that. I mean, part of the reason why is that I've decided to do this is because they finally allow all the other stuff that Android's been doing for. I mean, it's not nearly as, proprietary as it used to be with some of the stuff, but I'm not excited about having to switch because a lot of the stuff is USB-C now, and so I think it'll be okay. We'll see.
We will.
I can always go back.
We'll get a full review, I'm sure, as things go on of what you like and dislike about it. What you will like and dislike about today's show is we have tickets to give away. We have a Nerd Alert courtesy of Big J. We have an opportunity for you to go check out Disturbed coming up on the 25th of this month. That's going to be cool. We have Young Dubliners tickets to give away. That's going to be cool. We have an important update about something that we talked about last week we have to get into on the show today. And, of course, we play music. Let's get started with some Nirvana. Smells Like Teen Spirit around here on the X-Rocks.
Spanning the globe in search of news. Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Yesterday ushered in the coldest temperatures of the season so far, and those cold temperatures are expected to linger through today. We've got cold weather advisories, extreme cold warnings in effect across the area. Then, with frigid conditions in place, Big J, here comes a winter storm. You understand?
Yeah, it's supposed to snow this morning.
Yeah, it is supposed to be here by, listen, as of right now, there's a winter storm warning in effect and watch in effect for our area. By midday today, we're supposed to be getting some rising temperatures, but widespread snow. Moderate to heavy snow expected at all locations. Apparently, that's going to affect this evening's commute and Friday morning's commute. We're looking at maybe 6 inches of accumulation possible across the Treasure Valley, so we're going to get dumped on over the next couple of days, Big J. Prepare yourselves, your mind, and your cars accordingly. Now, what does your weather app say? Are we going to have like a hurricane according to your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's a bad weather app, dude.
No, it's not what it said.
You got to work on that. But we are going to be hit with some snow over the next couple of days, so keep that in mind. It will begin at some point today and probably impact your ride home from work and or school today, depending on what time you leave. So be cognizant of that as well. You understand, Big J?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Hopefully we don't get stuck at the movie theater for the foreseeable future.
We won't. I don't think we're getting like 3 feet of snow. We should be okay.
It wouldn't be a bad place to be stuck.
No, listen, they've got amenities there. They've got heated seats. They've got popcorn.
They've got Pizza Hut.
They've got blankets in case we get cold.
They do?
Yeah, they sell blankets in that little area now that you can grab.
I mean, not a bad place to hunker down.
No. I think, listen, a bunch of first-run movies. Worst case scenario, Big J, you'll have to watch Wicked, the sing-along.
I don't mind. Our buddy Randall probably has some other sweet, just some fun surprises there as well that you could watch.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. He could download any movie we want, really, with the new technology. So, yeah, we'll see. If we make it out of there tonight, we should be okay. Big J, Dallas Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison just might be the most hated man in the city after the Luka Doncic change.
Fire his ass.
Tuesday night, Harrison attended a game between SMU and Pitt, and once SMU's student section realized that he was in the building, they started up a Fire Nico chant. Unlike the Mavericks fans who were ejected for those words on Monday, the students were able to stay after their chant was over because, well, he has no connection to...
They should have kicked him out.
Get out of here, you.
Get out of our building.
But
you scumbag.
Yeah, they hate him in Dallas. They don't like that trade at all.
Well, that's fun and all. I'm sure that on the other side of this, him and his family are receiving all kinds of threats.
Oh, yeah.
And just the worst part of it, I mean, some people just don't know the line.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. And also, there's no way, until very far in the future will we know the whole story as to the whys and hows and what happened behind the scenes to make that happen. There's a lot of rumors and conjecture. Don't know how much of that is true. So, there's more to it than what we're hearing on the surface. That's for sure. Interesting news out of Las Vegas, Big J. The Sphere has had some bands popping in and performing some shows.
Yeah, man.
And doing some fun. And now we have the first ever pop act to perform at the Sphere in Vegas.
This could be huge, dude.
The Backstreet Boys are going to play a 9-show Sphere residency called Into the Millennium. It will run every Friday through Sunday from July 11th to July 27th, 2025. And they're expecting it to be an unforgettable experience of the legendary Millennium album brought to life and then a bunch of their greatest hits. So far, Big J, the concerts have been selling out really, really well there at the Sphere for the experience and otherwise. But up until this point, I would say they have selected bands that have truly rabid fan bases.
Well, also legacy bands.
Correct.
They've been around for a really long time.
And anybody who's tried to see a show at the Sphere should tell you how expensive it has been to get into that particular show for that performance. And we're talking anywhere from $800 to $1,000 a ticket to U2 for the first experiences there. To, even when the Eagles and Fish were there, we're talking $500-$600, which fans will gladly pay. I don't know if they're... listen, I know it's going to do fine. There's no doubt about it. But, you have to be a certain fan to throw down $600 to see the Backstreet Boys. I don't know how many of those there are out there, I guess is my point.
I think there's probably more than you think.
I'm sure there are.
This is right in our age bracket. The whole nostalgia thing is right there, for especially our wives. And
you think your wife would pay $500 to see the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere?
No, I don't think she would.
Okay.
But I know a lot of her friends probably would.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a lot of money. This is the first one where I can.
And does that necessarily mean that that's how much it's going to be?
That's the other thing. I don't know if they're like, well, listen, we realize that's unrealistic. How about $120 instead? That may be what this
even
ends up being.
$250. Because you know what, you're getting close to almost a regular concert cost at that point.
True.
You know what I mean?
You're not wrong. So we will see how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's also only 9 shows. It's not like U2 where it's 3 months worth of shows and they're all sold out or anything like that. It's a 9-show run, so it's a limited run.
Here's the thing: who do you think would be have a bigger draw? The Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Well, it's 100% NSYNC.
Okay.
Because NSYNC hasn't performed in forever. It would be a huge, gigantic reunion.
I don't know anything about
as
them.
well as the fact that it's an experience. And I think Justin Timberlake is probably more famous than any of the 5 put together.
I get them constantly mixed up.
Oh, okay.
Of who's in which band.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't care. I guess if you go in order of most famousness, you've got, Justin Timberlake and then Joey Fatone. But, can you name me a Backstreet Boy off the top of your head? Yeah, that's one. That counts.
Yeah.
Can you name me two?
AJ McLean.
Hey, look at you. You're looking at the list.
I'm looking at their names. Right
Morning after with Nick and Big J. I realized when
Howie
you said,
DeRoe.
when you realized when you went right to AJ McLean, I'm like, there's no way AJ's the second one you know. Morning after with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. It is the X Rocks Foo Fighters. That is a fun little song that we like to call All My Life here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Big J, today's the day before Valentine's Day officially. Did you know that today also has a little bit of celebration attached to it?
Oh?
Yeah, it is called Galentines Day. Are you familiar with the concept?
I don't think. Maybe. I don't remember.
It is become a pretty interesting and celebratory holiday over the last couple of years. It's become a time where females can celebrate their platonic relationships and friendships with each other.
Oh, with each other.
That means, it's like...
like Friendsgiving.
Yeah, but for the ladies only before Valentine's Day. So you can go out for cocktails, have some parties, self-care staycations, all popular ideas. But a new trend is taking root this year. That's candle making, Big J. You ever done that?
No.
It apparently has become a very popular group activity, a great way to create a heartfelt gift. The idea of Galentine's Day was first popularized by an episode of Parks and Recreation back in 2010. So it is fairly new, but it has taken kind of root in culture and the kind of pop culture kind of world over the last couple of years. So today is officially Galentine's Day, Big J. So don't know if anybody you know is celebrating it, but if you are, enjoy your time with your friends. Yeah.
Galentine. Now I get the name.
What, you were having problems before?
Yeah, I'm a little slow right now.
All right.
So.
Yeah, Galentine's Day. It's for the ladies. I have also, couldn't help but notice, not really a day like that for the dudes, you know?
Would it be called Palentine?
You think?
Pals.
Would we want to take over the same day and try to rob some of that from the ladies? I don't think that's a great idea.
No, I feel like we have Steak and BJ Day.
That's not really where guys celebrate other guys, is it? I mean, I think you got the whole premise confused a little bit there. So, yeah. Oh, no. So that might be a little bit of a different holiday.
Yeah, I misread that whole situation there. You're right.
Than what you're thinking.
In some cases, I guess, maybe.
Hey, unless you're celebrating it a different way than I am.
I don't
judgment. But
I don't know what day Palentine Day would be.
It doesn't.
Or what we would do.
Don't get all caught up in the Valentine's Day thing.
Right.
I just think that there isn't really a day where us dudes celebrate our friendships with other dudes, or period. And maybe it's because that there is a line there that they're not comfortable going across, or they're not.
We have a Superbowl.
I get it, but again, that's for all. This is not inclusive of just dudes hanging out with other dudes.
Start something?
I don't want to start something. I feel like it's more reflective of our society of masculinity than anything else.
I don't need to hang with each other.
I don't feel like dudes feel comfortable enough to go, I don't need to celebrate my friend. That's what birthdays are for, bro. And so that's fine if that's how you feel, but it is interesting to me, and maybe that's why bonds are a little bit stronger sometimes when you have an opportunity to go, hey, listen, I appreciate you in my life. It is nice to have you there, and how about we just celebrate each other for no reason whatsoever? But we always seem to have a reason, not that Galentine's Day isn't a reason, I suppose it is, but it manifested out of nowhere, I guess is my point.
Right.
Less likely for us dudes to do that. So I'm not trying to start something. I'm not trying to dig into a movement. I'm just trying to say it's interesting to me how women are comfortable enough to do this kind of thing, but it appears that men aren't. Unless, of course, as Big J mentioned, you count Steak and BJ Day. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, there is your Galentine's Day update. We got a nerd alert courtesy of Big J next on the X.
Nerd Talk. The best in tech and gaming. Big J's Nerd Alert on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Nick, this is always crazy to me how some of these games have been so wrong, they've been around for so long and yet are still setting records. Gamer sets new record on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. The video game Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was first released on NES back in '87, and in the 38 years since the game has been around, no player was able to register a TKO on old Tyson in less than 2 minutes. Until now, the gamer summoning Salt pulled off the amazing victory in 1 minute and 59.97 seconds. The victory was a result of some crazy dedication, and it took summoning Salt over 5 years and 75,000 attempts to get it done.
Man, it took me so long to beat Mike Tyson. I was so happy when I finally did back in the day. It was like I had won the World Series. It was crazy.
Yeah, my particular style is called button mashing. So I never really got it done.
No, you never beat Tyson?
No. I sucked at it. Yeah.
That's
Terrible.
crazy. No, listen, it was hard. It really was. I mean, like getting there was part of the fun. And if you remember the game, like if you lost, you had to start over like 2 back. And then it was harder to get through again. I mean, it was a tough game for a while there, especially if you were just a kid. But congratulations. I mean, I don't know. I can't even come close to tell you how long the fight with Tyson was. No, it wasn't 2 minutes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's just a classic that I don't think can ever be matched.
That's true.
Well, Sony had their state of play yesterday, and there was some huge disappointment, Nick. A lot of people thought that maybe, just maybe, we would get that second GTA 6 trailer and the date of release, but that did not happen. Though there were some big reveals, like Days Gone Remastered, a new look at Aminoshu, Way of the Sword, a new Dynasty Warrior spinoff that's going to be out. It came out yesterday, and a look at WWE's 25 Island game, and so much more. Borderlands 4 will officially be released on September 23rd. To celebrate the release date, Gearbox shared a brand new gameplay trailer, so you had a chance to see what that looked like. And Days Gone is riding its way to PS5 on April 25th, and will bring with it VR and PS5 Pro support, permadeath and speedrun modes, and an enhanced photo mode. Additionally, accessibility features and even a horde assault mode will have Deacon St. John taking even more freakers than usual. So, boy, these trailers, man, they look real good.
It's a fun game. I would like a sequel to it. It's a great story as well, and it would be fun to have it continue on. I don't know how likely that is, but Days Gone's a great game.
Nick, Jax, is he into like medieval times at all?
Not really. No.
Okay, because I was going to say there might be a cool game for him. A new game release that came out on the 4th across all platforms has really surprised a lot of the game insiders with its early success. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a medieval action role-playing game. I played the first one. My daughter, Maddie, she loves this game, and she took a day off from work just to play it when it came out. I'm going to go head first into this action role-playing game that is. I played the first one, and it's pretty interesting. Released on the 4th and quickly sold 1 million copies, with an additional million being sold since then. Just on Steam alone, it has had over 250,000 concurrent players. The future is super bright for this series, but more importantly shows that there is a lot of gamers out there who are desiring solo campaign-based games. This isn't like a multiplayer game, Nick. It's an action role-playing game that you take part in the world. It's kind of an open world type of situation.
Is it first or third person?
See, here's the thing. I was going to suggest it for you, but it's first person.
I thought it might be.
But, I mean, I don't know. If Jackson's into it, it might be a cool game for him.
He's playing The Witcher right now, which kind of has some medieval kind of style to it, but I don't know.
There's a lot of just character, and it's pretty funny, actually, too, the game itself. So that might be something you want to check out if you want something different. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. There's your nerd alert.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Important stuff on the way. So as we're going to hell, it's the X Rocks.
Here's stories that are incredibly f***ed up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
Rotten hell, you worthless maggot!
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Headed over to Japan for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J.
Okay.
And I know you know this, but back in the early 90s, Big J, the Japanese economy didn't do so well. Kind of like a bubble bursting, you understand?
Yeah.
And since then, the economy's kind of been stagnating, and so have employee salaries. So it's been really, really tough for some corporations to find ways to get people to come work for them when there isn't a lot of salary involved in it. You understand?
Yeah.
Especially younger people. They need to make some money in order to live, and it's been much, much, much more difficult for them to try to make that happen. And the budgets usually don't allow crazy exorbitant salaries, and so they have to be able to compete with some of the bigger companies out there, especially if you're a smaller tech company. So one small tech company in Japan recently went viral in the land of the rising sun because they started offering their staff free alcoholic drinks during work hours and hangover leaves to clear their head. The company is called Trust Ring Limited, And usually if you drink on the job, that's a fireable offense, but not there. Basically, the boss buys the booze, toasts with his employees as part of a special benefit that is meant to attract young talent. And if some of them have 1 or 2 drinks too many, they can use their hangover leaves. And that means they get to come into work late the next day, no questions asked whatsoever.
Damn.
And so basically, sometimes they don't come in until noon, 1 o'clock or something like that. Or you can go in for work, leave for a couple hours, and then come back with a clear head. And that helps them be more efficient at work. The CEO says he came up with the idea for these unusual benefits because he couldn't afford to pay his employees more money. So he was trying to compete with large corporations in terms of salary, but that wasn't happening. And so he wanted to offer people something they valued more than money, which is getting hammered. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it was probably he probably did a survey, and it was like the alcoholic in the office was like, this would be great if we had alcohol here. And then, if we didn't want to come in the next day right away, we could have like a leave.
Right. And I'm sure there's some people out there that's first response that reflects this is, oh, hey, that's cool. Drinking at work, that's awesome. But then you have to also remember, like, there's products and technical services that they're putting together here. And are you getting the quality of the item that you want when somebody who is inebriated is making whatever it is, be it software, hardware, or whatever it is this company produces? Do you want to buy a technical product from somebody that was probably hammered when they made it?
Chances are you already have.
You're probably right.
Let's be honest and real about this.
You're probably right. Our phones probably were put together by a bunch of people that were just drunk off their ass.
Expected by vodka.
Yeah. So, I suppose maybe it's not as rare as we think, but it is an interesting thing. Would that be a benefit to you?
To me?
Yeah,
no.
you don't drink that much,
don't
so
really
I can't
drink.
imagine. I don't either. Also, like when I don't know, nothing about me. We work weird hours, so I don't want to drink at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's not something that I look forward to, nor would I do in my own personal time. So it would not be much of a benefit to me. But hey, listen, if you're 22 and you want to party all the time, would that be a benefit of your gig? Like the boss buys you drinks, you drink for free all day?
I don't know. You know what would have been, here, if we go retrospectively and I look, back to maybe 2005 or 6, Nick, having a Jaeger tap here at the office would have made a difference, maybe.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of the reasons why you worked at the Spear Marina.
Yeah.
You can get hammered while you work.
I wouldn't be here now. I don't think if that was the case. I'd probably be dead.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X Rocks.
Newsfeed.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Look up, Big J. That's the cost of egg prices, my friend. And
there was no gas buddy for eggs? No egg buddy?
There's no egg buddy.
Hey, I'm egg buddy. I'm Patrick Mahomes.
But there is another daily staple that might be next, Big J. Your frickin' coffee, dude. A decrease in the Arabica bean crops and a drought impacting supply in Vietnam could make your morning cup of joe cost more in the year 2025. Now, supply issues could also be compounded by tariffs if they're implemented on our trade partners, as most of the American coffee supply is imported and not from here in the United States. In the last financial quarter of 2024, the price of coffee had already increased by 26%. That expected to almost double by the first quarter of 2025, Big J. So you better enjoy that free coffee here at work while you can, because it's going to cost you a pretty penny if you decide to go outside of the box.
I learned yesterday, I don't care, I'll pay for it, because, Nick, the last week has been rough. I've been under the weather. I've had this terrible headache. Like, for almost 3 days, I had this weird headache at the back of my head, right? Just throbbing, and it would never, anything would put a dent in it. And I'm at the front desk, and I'm talking with our wonderful receptionist, Teresa, who works on Wednesday, and telling her this situation. And then for some reason, Ian was up there. We're talking about, I've been drinking tea because my voice was missing, and so I hadn't had any coffee in like 5 days. I was having withdrawals.
Yeah, you're
withdrawals.
addicted to caffeine.
So the withdrawals was causing that headache at the back of my head.
That
I
makes
immediately had some coffee. Feel great. So you know what? I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay whatever the man tells me for that coffee.
Yeah, listen, you guys
Sure,
all
there's
have
other
addictions to
caffeine.
it, of course.
There's other caffeine available, but I like coffee.
Yeah. I bet you a lot of people do, but I'm just telling you it's going to cost you a little bit more. Not all of us make Big J money, I guess is my point.
God, I wish I made Big J money. The money you're talking about sounds crazy.
Big J, some NBA fans and players aren't happy with the format of the All-Star game. That's going to be played on Sunday. It will feature 4 teams facing off in short games to determine a winner. Remember they changed the format?
Oh, yeah.
Now, one player does love the new deal. That's Steph Curry, because he was the guy that Adam Silver kind of came to and said, hey, we want to switch this up. What exactly can we do to make people care and make it a little bit more fun? And that's what he came up with. So Curry suggested shortening the game and putting in things that could bring out the players' competitiveness. And apparently there were no other additional ideas at that time. And so they're going to change it up and see what happens. But so far, people are kind of like meh about it. And this is the big change, and players like it even less. So I don't know. I'm not going to watch the All-Star game. No offense. It's just not my thing. It never has been. I'm not a real big fan of All-Star games, period. And so I applaud the players for getting nominated and being able to play in it, but I don't find them overly competitive or entertaining or interesting. And so I usually try to avoid it. And there's other than the NHL game, I enjoy the skills competitions. Those kind of things I'll watch, but not the actual games themselves. Usually they're just not what you want.
I feel like the early 90s, maybe the late 80s, was the peak of All-Star games. Like the Pro Bowl was passable. At least it had some fun to it. NBA was pretty normal. I mean, things were, you had the dunk contest, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Just now it's just, ugh.
I just think there's too much money involved for you to get injured in a fun little,
mess around. Let's mess around, and we're pros here. Right. We're the All-Stars.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's just a different era and a different amount of money that's getting made, and you do not want to screw up your career by getting hit really hard in a Pro Bowl. That's just not something that you want to do, or to go up for a dunk or try to block a pass and then block a shot and you end up dislocating your finger and you're out for 6 weeks. That doesn't do you any good.
This sounds terrible to ask this question, but I wonder how many concussions happened in the Pro Bowl era, back in that time, when they were still playing football.
Oh, back when we didn't trace concussions?
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, probably a ton. I mean, just in a Pro Bowl game. Yeah. Scarlett Johansson is not happy. Maybe at some point you've seen the viral AI-generated video where there's a bunch of celebrities that are wearing T-shirts that protest Kanye West's recent anti-Semitic posts, condemning the misuse of AI and its potential spreading of hate speech. While she is definitely somebody that doesn't tolerate Kanye West's recent kind of tirades, also, that's not her in that video, and that's not Steven Spielberg in this video. It's just a bunch of famous celebrities all wearing anti-Kanye stuff, and none of those people are real, nor were they okay with their image being used, but still, it's gone viral several times over the last couple of days. And so Scarlett is saying, listen, while in this particular case the message is good, that's still not okay to just have famous people's images put on whatever video you want it to do, because how long before that is misused for something that is negative and people think that's real? Because right now they think it's real. And so she's calling for some sort of kind of regulation on these things and seeing what can be done. But as of right now, it's kind of like the Wild Wild West out there for AI, and it's difficult to figure out where this line can be drawn and what you can do if something is generated without your permission if you're a celebrity.
Yeah, and now, as an individual who's seeing this stuff in social media or whatever, now you have to apply not just that makes sense. You have to apply context to what you're seeing to be able to discern if it's real or not.
Yeah.
Like, does this make sense that these guys would all be in this commercial? In this particular case, you would say it would probably pass that sniff test because of the subject matter. But at the same time, it's like now you have to really think twice, 3 times about stuff you're seeing and whether it makes sense or not.
And because they have taken down all regulations, again, everything fake, real, whatever is all there. And so it's very easy to fall into a trap of, oh, this must be real because of whatever. But again, I don't know if it's just because I'm trained this way or I'm kind of somebody that's a skeptic no matter what. But I saw that commercial and I was like, these guys look like 30 years younger than they actually are. So I know that that's not real, but I understand the message you're trying to convey. But I can also understand if that's you don't want to pop up in those videos, so you have to pay attention to those kind of things and go, where do we draw the line? How do we draw the line at this point?
I mean, we're trained a little bit. We work in graphics and, art design and some things, so we can tell when stuff is a little sketchy, but most people can't.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, it's tough, and especially if you find anything on social media, just, I'm not saying you have to not believe everything that's out there. I'm just trying to say, I'm not even saying doing your own research, because that research can usually take you to a terrible place as well. It's very difficult to know right now what is real and what isn't when it comes to actual news, when it comes to videos, it's almost like you can't even believe your own eyes at this point,
Yeah, 1984 style.
Yeah, you ready? Well, that's not what that was about.
Oh, I
Morning After.
Never read the book.
I believe me, the second it came out of your mouth, I know. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We got ourselves some We're Going to Hell action next on the X Rocks. Give you a chance to win some tickets to see that band coming up in less than an hour. That is 3 Days Grace, Animal I Have Become, here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. And we always have an opportunity to visit for some very special people in this studio from time to time. And it's nice when they keep their word, Big J. Mm-hmm. And Jeff Augusta from Zoo Boise is a man of his word. We had him in last week to talk about an event that is happening tonight at Zoo Boise called Woo at the Zoo, that you can still go and check out if you want to. There's still some advance tickets available for that. But also, there was another special event happening for Valentine's Day, and that was being able to purchase and sponsor a Madagascar hissing cockroach to show people that your love is eternal. It's not a negative connotation. It's like, hey, listen, our love will be able to survive anything. I have named a Madagascar hissing cockroach after you, and it'll be here long after this world has spun its last spin. And so you'll have an opportunity to basically have your love live forever. So you can name your cockroach, our cockroach, after somebody in your life, Big J. And as we had Jeff on last week, we were joking about how there should be a Nick and Big J cockroach. Well, we got an email. And guess what? Hanging out at Zoo Boise now, there's an official Madagascar hissing cockroach named Nick and Big J. It's the only one that I have seen on the list this year that is named after two people, but we will take what we can get. Agree or disagree?
Yeah. Why complain about it?
And so thank you to Jeff and to Zoo Boise for doing that for us. Jeff was very nice enough to send us some pictures as well as a video of the, I'm guessing, our Nick and Big J cockroach crawling all over our faces and our logo over there at Zoo Boise, which was...
I'd like to know where he got that logo thing. I mean, he made that.
It was, it's something that he printed out, it looks like, but also it was very disorienting to see a cockroach crawling across my face. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think it went poo on your face, actually.
Did it crap on my face?
Yep.
Well, it wasn't my real face.
We'll post that up on the Morning After Facebook page later today.
But a reminder that if it is something that you want to do for somebody in your life, you still have an opportunity. Go to zooboise.org. You can purchase and sponsor a Madagascar hissing cockroach for $20. You believe me, you don't actually get to purchase the cockroach. It's not coming home with you. We don't have the cockroach in our studio, thank God. It stays at the zoo, and it's one of those honorary sponsorships. You get a nice little certificate. It looks good, and it might be something different for Valentine's Day. But it's up there, and it's available. So once again, thank you to Jeff, and thank you to Zoo Boise for doing that.
Yeah, he really is a great guy. We love him when he comes in. So
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Coming up, some important stuff as well as your pop culture smackdown. It is the X Rocks.
Here's traffic inside the...
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
It's official, Big J.
Oh?
They talked to 20,000 Americans, and they found out the actual time that is the perfect time for you to take a nap.
What is it?
1:42 in the afternoon.
God, that is about the time I want to take a nap.
The perfect nap should last around 51 minutes, according to respondents. Anything over an hour and 20 minutes is, quote, too long and messes up people's sleep schedule. And, of course, if you risk entering deep sleep in those naps, that means waking up is much, much harder to do. You've often said that to yourself, that sometimes you wake up and you feel more tired. That's because you're sleeping too long and you're taking a deep sleep.
That happened to me last night.
You took a nap?
No, I mean, I deep sleep last night.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to
But
be
I woke
sleeping.
up this morning, I'm like, man, I feel like I need to go back to bed.
Well, how long did you get deep sleep for? When did you go to bed last night?
It's probably a good 6 hours.
Okay.
Solid sleep.
Well, you need more than that, buddy.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, you need about, well, you're in your 50s, so you need anywhere from 7 to 8.
I am not in my 50s.
47% of people like having the TV on during a nap. 7% of people use a white noise machine. Did you say you have like an app or something that you use?
No, I could, but I usually use the TV. The
You do?
TV is my white noise. I don't actually have like
What shows are you watching? Does it matter? Do you have like a show you
yes,
have
it
on?
does. It's usually going to be something really mundane, like most of the stuff I watch. So, or something I've seen before,
Sure.
and I don't have to
Pay attention to it.
Yeah, and oftentimes I'll completely forget what I was watching before I fall asleep because that's how it just works. So I don't remember what I was watching last night at all.
You don't remember what you put on?
No.
Like, doesn't it say like continue watching on whatever app you're using?
No, it's on the TV.
Oh, that's
I
right,
hit the
you
sleep
use-
timer, and then
Got it.
I'm out in 10 minutes.
Other tips for the perfect nap include napping before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, creating a comfortable environment, and listening to your body. Big J, what does your body say?
My body says rocket.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really nap that often. I like to do Friday naps. They're guilt-free because I don't have to worry about if it's going to affect my sleep because I don't have to get up at 4 a.m. the next day.
Right. So Friday naps is your key. That's what your body says.
Yeah, today I think about 2:15 I'm going to start a nap.
I always think of the same thing. I'm like, boy, that movie better be good, or we're gonna have some problems
I
today.
mean, the recliner chair.
In the heat?
Yeah.
Oh, you better watch out, Captain America.
Give me a blanket. Let's go.
Hey, listen, Big J, America's perverted. And whether it was because the game wasn't very exciting or fans were turned on by their team winning, you would not believe the spike that we saw in football-related pornography
What?
on Super Bowl Sunday, Big J.
Football-related?
Yes.
Pornography.
A spike of over 273% on football-themed porn hit the webs on Super Bowl Sunday,
I've
including...
never seen that. I mean, what does that entail?
Well, it's searching for a football
Cheerleaders?
cheerleader.
Okay.
Yeah. Thick cheerleader was
Yeah.
one of the most popular. Cheerleader.
Center to quarterback exchange.
Gee, no, Super Bowl was one of it. And mostly it revolved around cheerleaders and football players. That's what the football-themed pornography was big. One last fun fact when it comes to porn on Super Bowl Sunday, Big J, the home state of Pennsylvania, traffic on pornography sites was down 43% on Super Bowl Sunday. It must be because they were too busy celebrating their team winning the Super Bowl to do their particular rituals. So congratulations
Climbing street poles.
to the city and state, city of Philadelphia, state of Pennsylvania. Way to go. Big J, if you like good causes, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, Amy Schumer, and a ton more are set for something called the Night of Too Many Stars comedy event on March 31st in New York City. This is something that has aired concurrently on Max as well as Comedy Central. It's been hosted the last several years by Jon Stewart. Are you familiar with the event, Big J?
No.
It raises funds to support autistic individuals and adults across the country. It has been going on for the past 7 years, and it is headlining again in New York City. It's a big comedy event where everybody gets together. It's kind of like what Comic Relief used to be. This one has kind of picked up the torch, focusing on autism-related charities across the country. It's a cool thing and something that is happening on March 31st if you want to set your TVs for that. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, there is your important stuff. We have your Pop Culture Smackdown. It's happening next on the X Rocks.
Yeah, and we got a nice prize for you here. Tickets to Disturbed. They're going to be here the 25th with 3 Days Grace, 7 Dust out there at the Ford Idaho Center Arena. We'll hook you up with these tickets. We'll get them to you via email. You don't have to come pick them up. You just need to beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown.
You think you can? Then get on the phone, 208-287-1003. You're going to have to know something or two about the world of pop culture in order to claim this prize. But it should be pretty easy for you to do so. Big J, any themes for today's Pop Culture
Nah,
Smackdown?
just the hodgepodge.
All right, hodgepodge it is. To the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Hello,
Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Jeff.
All right, Jeff, you're up first, man. Good luck.
Which Coen Brothers film features a character whose name is simply the Dude?
The Big Lebowski.
That's correct. Nick, this improv group turned 50 in 2009 and has launched the careers of SNL alums like Tina Fey, Dan Aykroyd, and Bill Murray. Who is it?
Is that Second City?
It is Second City, yes. Hold on.
Right.
What 70s TV family is comprised of Mike, Carol, Greg, Marcia, Peter, Jan, Bobby, and Cindy?
The Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch. Yes, that's absolutely right. Luckily, Nick, you can't visit this title street since it's located in fictional Springwood, Ohio. Is it Sesame Street, Cherry Tree Lane, or Elm Street?
Give me the city again.
Springwood, Ohio.
And it's Sesame Street, Elm Street, or
Cherry Tree Lane.
I'm going to say Elm Street.
It is. That is 100% correct. Elm Street. Let's see here. What was the title of Britney Spears' disastrous acting debut? Was it Glitter, Crossroads, or Swept Away?
Crossroads.
That's right. Nick, what soap opera was Kelly Ripa's day job for more than 10 years?
As the World Turns.
It is not As the World.
Wasn't General Hospital, right?
Nope.
Days of Our Lives?
Nope.
I'm out of soap opera.
All
names.
My Children.
All My Children.
Right.
That one exists.
Hey, not
for
bad,
sure.
man. Not bad.
Congratulations, Jeff. Good job. You ran the table. You got a chance to go to Disturbed and 3 Days Grace and Seven Dust. Hang on just one second, dude. We will hook you up with everything you need to know for those tickets. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We have got some headlines. They're going to happen next on the X Rock.
Jay.
Headlines brought to you by Be Our Guest. Gandolfo delivers some authentic New York deli experiences when you go check them out, and you'll have an opportunity to be our guest to check them out at a discount tomorrow.
Yeah.
Beginning at 9 o'clock on Friday, you can head to xrock.com, click the Be Our Guest link, and grab $50 worth of gift certificates to Gandolfo's New York Deli for just $25 American dollars. You can redeem them at any Meridian, Idaho location. There's a couple of them to choose from, whether you want a quick lunch or a casual dinner. They got you covered. They got premium and delicious meats, cheeses, and bread to make sure that no matter when you eat it or where you eat it, you're getting a fantastic meal. So check out Gandolfo's Be Our Guest. $50, just cost you $25. Limited availability, 9 o'clock tomorrow at xrock.com. Click the Be Our Guest link. Headlines are as follows. Sir, you're drunk. Sir, you're drunk too. And this is a thing.
This is a thing.
Big J, can I interest you in getting married at a Denny's?
No.
Come on, man.
Listen, I'm already married, happily. I don't...
Renew your vows.
Yeah, but we have no story with Denny's. So,
But it's
if Denny's
America's
was-
favorite diner.
I don't give a damn.
Huh?
If you have some part of a history of Denny's, maybe you worked at a Denny's, or maybe that's where you met, or you every time after you got hammered together, you went to Denny's. Maybe then you could get married. That would make sense. But I don't think that's a lot of people.
What if it was free to get married at Wendy's? Or to Wendy's, at Denny's?
No.
No? Well, they're offering free Vegas weddings tomorrow for Valentine's Day.
What's
Couples.
the Denny's Vegas look like?
Well, it looks like a Denny's wedding chapel in Las Vegas.
I gotta look.
Couples who arrive between 9 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the afternoon will receive Denny's wedding package for free. While walk-ins are welcome, reservations are available at Dennys.com or on any other day of the year. The wedding package currently costs about $200 for you to get married in Las Vegas at the Denny's there during the Denny's wedding chapel. I'm sure it looks just like you would want it to look. You grab
Really?
yourself a nice little marriage certificate and moons over my hammy and you're on your way.
This doesn't look like any Denny's I've been to. It's clean. It looks
Shots
nice.
fired at Denny's out of nowhere.
Sorry.
What do they do to you?
Well, I mean, based on the fact that most of them are out of business now, they didn't do a lot, okay?
All right. When's the last time you were at a Denny's?
It's been a long time because I can't find one.
There's one right off of the north side exit there in Nampa. You can go check it out anytime you want.
It's one of the only ones still around.
Well, it's closer to your house than you think. Sir, you're drunk, or sir, you're drunk too?
Sir, you're drunk too.
Operating a riding lawnmower should not be done while drunk. Unfortunately, one Florida man doesn't know how to do it any other way. Police near Fort Myers are trying to identify a man who is clearly plowed when he started mowing down mailboxes in one neighborhood. His rampage finally ended when he drove into a stone mailbox, which caused him to tumble over the front of the mower and stumble away from the scene. Luckily, a doorbell camera captured the unbelievable, hilarious crash. One neighbor, Matt Clardy, told a reporter it was absolutely disgusting to see him run down all these mailboxes, but it was very funny to see him fall off the lawnmower at the end. I could watch that 100 times. The drunk man left behind a Pittsburgh Steelers cap and some sunglasses. Police are hoping somebody knows who he is and turns him in because it seemed to be ridiculous. But if you get a chance, watch the video of the lawnmower hitting the mailbox. It is really, really funny. Guy goes ass over tea, falls on his face.
Wow.
So, yeah, don't be driving your riding lawnmower drunk.
I mean,
Big
that could
J.
be severely, you could die.
Yeah.
That thing could run you over.
Absolutely.
Chop off your foot, you're out there passed out, just bleeding out.
Yeah, if the pain doesn't make you pass out, for sure. Wrap it up with Sir, You're Drunk. A Japanese customs official is in hot water after allegedly leaving sensitive documents on a train after a night out drinking. The unnamed worker reportedly consumed 9 glasses of beer at Yokohama last Thursday and lost a bag containing information on 187 people, some of which were suspected drug smugglers. The employee also lost some work laptops, according to officials. The finance ministry apologized and said the employee would face consequences, but this is just another example, Big J, of working drunk not being a good idea.
Yeah, no, terrible idea.
Especially if you're carrying around sensitive information. Maybe cut it off at 7, 8 beers, so that 9th one may have pushed you over the edge.
I should imagine.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your headlines. You're officially up to date on everything. It is the X-Rocks. There's Everlong here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Big J, let's hit the Morning After mailbag, sir.
The mailbag, yeah. Our buddy Randall here, he texted in this morning and he said, I don't know who will see this, but happy Radio Day, guys. The X is the only station that sees my radio. Thanks so much for what you do. Keep on rocking. Today is International Radio Day.
Oh.
I responded to him and said, hey, that's impressive because there's like 3 or 4 different damn radio days. I mean, there was just one like a month ago.
Oh, was there?
Yeah. And I saw everybody posting on. I'm like, I felt we just did this a couple months earlier than that.
Is there National Radio Day and then there's International Radio Day?
I think there's International Radio Day, then there's National Radio Day, and then I think there's like a Radio Personality Day too.
Huh. But it's not Radio Personality Day at Flying Pie, right?
No.
Okay.
No, sorry.
That's the only day that I
Yeah,
celebrate.
come on, guys. Remember when we used to be friends?
It's been a while since I had a radio DJ day over there, but they used to.
Hey, thanks, Randall, for knowing that, and we appreciate you greatly. That's the whole reason we're doing this, is you.
Thank you very much, Randall, for wishing us a happy World Radio Day. We do appreciate it. Big J, tell your radio story for the good people of the Treasure Valley.
Which part? I mean, it's pretty long.
Let's go. Tell the abridged version, the Cliff Notes. Give it to it.
Yeah, you know what? I never intended to get into the world of radio. Unlike Nick here, it was his dream as a small child going through high school. I just, it never was on my radar. I think subliminally it was because I listened to a lot of talk radio at the time and that sort of stuff. But I met a gentleman in college named Bill. He was doing the morning show here. I started listening to that show. And then I started participating without letting them know who I was. They would, have bits and gags and things like that. And I would call up, and eventually they stopped me one day and asked if I wanted to do sports on Mondays. And I was like, heck, well, let's give it a shot. And so that was when Big J was born. And I was like, hey, this is pretty fun. I'd like to do this for the rest of my life. And I quit school. I quit my job and worked on 20 hours a week to the chagrin of my family.
That's the beginning of most radio stories. You have to abort your original plan to go down this path and sacrifice a lot to finally get to where you are. Where, I mean, there was a point, not lying, at the beginning of my radio journey where I was working 4 part-time jobs, none of which with health insurance or any benefits or anything, just so that I could pay the rent to try to chase down this goofy thing that we do every day. So yeah, there's definitely sacrifice and maybe even stupidity involved in some of the decisions that you have to make to do this back in the day. And that's back when radio jobs were kind of a thing. Now they're even less prevalent than they were back when we got started, dude. Yeah,
I mean, it's tough. There are times when we're like, who's next? I mean, we're all getting a little older.
Right.
Like it's hard to find anybody who's dumb enough.
Yeah. We do not do a good job of making a bullpen. And listen, I'm sure it's the same with you, but the job that I had to get in, that I got to get my foot in the door to break into this business does not exist anymore. It's not a job that's around.
Not really.
And so it's really, really hard to break into this business. It's even more difficult to stick and stay in this business. And God knows we couldn't do it without you guys listening. So thank you very much for helping us tell this story and have it be a part of our story. So we appreciate you guys. To me, World Radio Day is about the listeners because God knows we couldn't do this without them. So
it's almost like, well, what comes first, the chicken or the egg here? It's like we need you guys more than you need us, I think.
And it's always nice when people text in, nice things about World Radio Day. But then it's also nice to when people text in to call us an idiot and say that all Denny's are closed. So there's give and take in the morning after mailbag today.
Appreciate. It's interesting to see what you guys really care about. Like we'll talk about something important or really funny and nothing, and then we just talk about Denny's, and the next thing you know, they're not open anymore.
The airport one's closed. The one on North Side closed in March. You dummy. And so, but we appreciate any and all feedback. Thank you very much.
Hell yeah.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got ourselves some bad impressions. That's happening next on the X Rocks.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
And up for grabs here, Bad Impressions. We get you some Young Dubliners tickets. They're going to be here at the Knitting Factory on March 7th. It's a Friday night, friends. That's a good night to see the Young Dubliners, let me tell you what. So we'll get you those if you can figure out bad impressions today, and it is a celebrity.
208-287-1003. Now and forever our phone number. That's the number you need to call if you'd like to play bad impressions. Big J will give you 3 clues, see if you can figure it out. Hello, the X.
How's it going?
How you doing, man? What's your name?
Mike.
All right, Mike, you're up first, man. Good luck.
Did you see my Goggins goggles commercial during the Super Bowl? Thanks, GoDaddy.
Next one.
I've starred in a bunch of TV shows, Boyd Crowder in Justified, Lee in Vice Principals, and Baby Billy in Righteous Gemstones.
Walter Goggins?
Walter Goggins. Yeah,
You'll take it? Beautiful. Hang on 1 second. Good job, my man. What was clue 3, just for fun?
You think Fallout Season 1 was great. Wait until you see the Ghoul in Season 2.
And why is Walton Goggins in the news?
He was on the red carpet premiere of The White Lotus Season 3, Nick, and they were talking about Fallout. He said, quote, "We're in the middle of filming it right now. We've been at it since November, and I can tell you that I thought Season 1 was extraordinarily. Personally, I was very pleased with it. This blows it out of the water, what these writers have done, and the artisans have come together to tell this story. It's really going to be something. I can't wait for people to see it. We're working really hard to make that happen."
Did you watch Fallout?
Yeah, it was great.
It was. It's fantastic. It's a great show.
It is great, and I'm a Walton Goggins fan. That dude is great, and I want to buy some of those goggles. That was crazy. I did not expect to see him in a commercial in the Super Bowl like that.
Well, get off your tail and get it done, Big J.
They're $150.
Sure. So?
He's competing with Oakley now.
Yeah, but I mean, you would be the only person you know with some Walton goggles, right?
I mean, really, here's the opportunity, Walter, for us to finally...
You got to get his name right, though. That's going to make him
Walton,
mad.
I'm sorry,
Thank
Walton. I called him Walter earlier, too?
You sure did.
Did he call him Walter?
Yes, and I think
that's why.
That's what triggered you into
That's all right. Let's rewind. Walton, we need to work something out here, man. We can help out. That's what we do. Let's do an endorsement. Get you on the air.
All right.
I'll wear them on the podcast.
From the Super Bowl to the X. Why not, right? Morning After with Nick and Big J. We will wrap up this show here next on the X Rocks. With Nick and Big J. That's going to wrap up the show for this Thursday. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Got a nice nerd alert courtesy of Big J today. Talked about how maybe it's not the best idea to get absolutely hammered at work, especially if you're the work buying everybody drinks. That seems like a bad idea at your workplace. But what do we know? And, of course, we also had a chance to give away some Disturbed tickets. That shall continue tomorrow. Big J, that leaves you with the floor.
Yeah, hey, exciting news because the Morning After the Movies podcast makes a return. New season. We'll start with Captain America Brave New World, and we'll have that out tomorrow shortly after the show.
You should check out Morning After the Movies wherever you can find podcasts. Subscribe for free. Check out our back catalog. All those movies are now available for you to watch in your home, and it's broken up into 2 parts, of course. The first part is completely spoiler-free, our opinions of the movie. Second half of the podcast, we get into spoilers and talk about what we really like and what we didn't really like about said film. So there's this is season 9?
Yeah, I think so.
God. Yeah, 8 seasons
Never
of
paid a dime.
movies for Well, you got some free food out of it for a while. Remember
Where?
that?
Oh, yeah, that was
Morning After with
8
Nick
years ago.
and Big J,
maybe
season
10.
2. We got ourselves some fun, so check out that podcast, please. We will see you tomorrow. Jason Drew's up next. It's the X Rocks.